Everyone, I'm Nick D'Antonio, and this is D'Antone on drums. Today we're going to talk about a song called Evidence, and I'm going to talk about the whys of what I played, talk through the whole song, and I'm going to show you how I get that strong, thick, fat snare sound in the chorus without using any tracks or electronic drums. Let's get into it. All right, the song we start, this is the first song of the service, so the worship leader is opening up in prayer. I'm going to talk about this a lot. I like to lay like a bed down. Lay a bed down of just some cymbal noise, some swell, some hi-hat sizzle, just something to let the other musicians feel safe and secure about playing something underneath. This is something worked out ahead of time with the worship leader. So that we go into the song, we've already got something. We're not at a 0. We're kind of at maybe a 1 or a 2. And as we go through the first verse, I don't really play anything, but there's a nice big strong swell into the chorus. And then a pretty simple chorus, less is more. I'm going to play the snare drums, and we'll talk about that in just a second. Let's listen.
Lord, we thank you for this day that we could come together and be in your presence. You're going to come and to meet with us this morning. In your name we pray. Amen. All throughout my history, your faithfulness has walked beside me. The winter storms made way for spring.
Trying to get everything ready. Last minute.
In every season from where I am standing, I see the evidence of your goodness.
All right, there you saw me just sort of giving eyes to, I've got the guitarist on my right, Ben, bassist is on my left, and just giving them, we call it the big eyes. If you get big eyes, you're going to play a big part. So that's what I'm just kind of letting them know, again, just so they feel secure and feel confident about playing out loud when we're already pretty quiet. The song dynamically jumps from like a 2 to like a 5 or a 6 out of 10. So here's the chorus. So this is what I do. So I've got 2 snare drums. I've got one, my main snare is a higher pitch snare, and I like a higher pitch. I like that crack for my main snare, and then I use a nice fat snare on the side. I've got a hydraulic. I've got a bunch going on there. I've got a Evans hydraulic black head on it, and then I've got an O-ring on the outside, and then I've got a piece of plastic. It's thick, heavy plastic that I got from a pillow case, like from a store. So it's thick plastic, and I cut it out and put it on top. So it's a really fat, throaty sound. I've also got some tambourine jingles that kind of clip onto the side. There's 3 there. You only see 1, but there's 3. And I play the kick. So I play both snares together and the kick, all to kind of give it as fat a sound as you can. And if you got tracks, if you've got a drum machine, obviously you can do a lot more. But this is how to do it acoustically without anything electronic. We're going to go through the chorus here, and then I'm going to go into verse 2 with a strong, confident fill. Play confident. That's a huge thing. Play with confidence. That means you got to know your parts, come prepared, listen to stuff ahead of time. You need to know what you're going to play before you get there, so you can play with confidence, and that will help the rest of the team play with confidence. And no one's wondering, is he coming in? Is he not coming in? What level should I play at? What's happening here? Take away all those doubts when you play with confidence. So we'll go into verse 2, and you'll hear me just playing a pretty simple beat. Some of the best advice I ever got was that you need to figure out how you're going to play each song and play it the same way every time, so that the bass player can play off of it, the guitarist can play off of that. All that stuff is important. Find the right beat, the right sound for your song, and then stick to it. You can change it a little bit as time goes on. You got to refresh things, but for the most part, especially the kick pattern should be really reliable, especially for the bass player. It's really important. Also going to hear me do a little bit of mirroring of what the guitar player is doing on the hi-hat. Not a lot, but just a little bit, just to sort of play something together in there. Let's listen.
All over my life, all over my life.
Here we go. Just kidding. Still in the chorus.
All over my life, all over my
Here we go.
Help me remember when I'm weak. Fear may come, the fear will leave. You train my heart in victory. You are my strength, and you always will be. I see the evidence of your goodness.
So I stayed on the low snare all the way up until we get to the bridge. And that's just another way to sort of differentiate the two parts and to help me take the song to a different level dynamically. Sonically, it's going to sound different. I'm always thinking about that kind of stuff. How can I build the song from usually, most songs will start at a lower dynamic. I like to number them like 1 through 10. Most songs are starting at 1 or 2. So I'm always thinking about how to build that, how to get up through that. And we're going to go, I bring it up. I've got playing on the ride now instead of just the snare, playing the low snare, keeping that at a 6 out of 10. And we're going to repeat the chorus, and you'll hear the worship leader sort of give a vocal cue, and then we'll build into the chorus, build into the bridge, but let's listen to chorus 2.
All over my life, all over my I see your promises in fulfillment all over my life, all over my life. I see the evidence.
There was a vocal cue right there.
All over my life, all over my life. I see your promises in fulfillment all over my life.
All right, we're about to head into the bridge. I'm going to do a nice build up to get us there, and I'm going to switch to the main snare drum, and I'll kind of do the build up on that. I like to do the build up if I'm switching from low snare to main snare. Then I'm going to do the build up probably on the main snare just to make that sound a little bit softer, because when I start the build up, I'm going to drop it way down and then bring it up. The bridge is going to be at a dynamic level, maybe 7, 8. We're going to go up a little bit from where we are now, but not a lot, because I know we've got a lot to come in the song. So that's another part of preparation, knowing the song, knowing where you're going. I'm not going to give it everything on this bridge because I know I need to leave room for later. So if I'm hitting a 10 every time we get to a chorus, every time we get to a bridge in volume and intensity, then there's just nowhere to go. The song lacks dynamics, and I want to give it the proper dynamics throughout the whole song. So I'm sort of thinking about those things ahead of time. I'm telling myself, hold back a little bit, don't give it everything. So we're going to go into the bridge here. I'm going to switch to the snare, and then we'll come down for a drum break into the chorus.
All over my life. See the cross, the empty grave, the evidence is endless. All my sin rolled away because of you, oh Jesus. See the cross, the empty grave, the evidence is endless. All my sin rolled away.
So I do that beat, I do kick, snare, and that double snare there, that dun, do, ga, ga. That's a great way that I use a lot to sort of elevate the song a little bit. It's also, you can leave it out if you don't want to elevate it that much. So that's a nice way to add intensity without adding volume. Just adding one more hit in there, it drives it forward a little bit more. And then, so that's what I did in the bridge. Now we're going to come down into a drum break into the chorus. I need to know where the hits are. I need to know the band, and I need to know where we're going to hit together, where are they going to play, where are their notes. You got to work all that out with them. So we'll come through that drum break in the chorus, trying to leave lots of space. And we've already decided how we're going to build back in, and I'll start with eighth notes on the bass drum, kick drum, and then switch to 16th notes after I forget how many counts it is, pretty quick, and go to 16th notes. It'll be 16th notes on the snare to build us into the second bridge, and then it's all out.
Because of you, oh Jesus, oh, I see the evidence of your goodness all over my life, all over my life. I see your promises in fulfillment all over my life, all over my life. I see the evidence of your good.
All right, so we just went back to the chorus, strong beat, and then it's going to be build up into the bridge and then be all out. This will be at level 10.
Promises in fulfillment all over my life, all over my life. See the cross, the empty grave, the evidence is endless. All my sin rolled away because of you, oh Jesus. See the cross.
I use this beat a lot. It's 3 kicks. There's 3 like 16th note kicks starting on the 1. So it'll be bum bum boom snare snare boom 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 snare snare, and that really is another way again to add intensity and dynamic level without necessarily volume. Although in this case I am playing at a full volume, all out, to get everything we've got, because I know we're not going anywhere. We're going to drop after this. Go down probably into the chorus. But that's a beat that I play quite often to help add a lot of intensity to the song.
Empty grave, the evidence is endless. All my sin rolled away because of you, oh Jesus. Oh, I see the evidence of your goodness all over my life, all over.
So, all right, so we've come down. I know where we're coming down. Sometimes the worship leader will want to keep going. I would have done a fill to clearly let the rest of communicate to the rest of the team. We're going to keep going in case they miss the cue. And now we've dropped, and in this particular service, we're just starting the service with one song. So I know he's probably going to transition, so I'm going to bring it down as I just did, play some cymbals, and sort of let the song fade out naturally.
I see your promises in fulfillment all over my life, all over my life, all over my life, all over my life, all over.
There's really no right or wrong here, just sort of feeling it out as we go.
Lord, we thank you this morning for your goodness in our life, your faithfulness, your kindness. Even when we don't deserve it, God, you still love us. And this morning we see that and we say thank you. Thank you for your love, Lord. In your name we pray. Amen. You can be seated. We have a couple of announcements we wanted to share with you this morning.
All right, so that is evidence. So hopefully that gave you some tips, talking about the why I play what I played and some stuff of the how-to, especially those snare hits together. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Please like, subscribe, share it with somebody who could benefit from this. The whole goal of this channel is really to share what I've learned over the years with other worship drummers in hopes that they will learn something from it, and I can just share what I feel like I've sort of figured out over the years. So please like, subscribe, share, and we'll see you next time.